Hey, beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully great, and welcome back to some more Warframe. So of course we are going to be talking about the different types of Archon shots. We of course are going to be rating the ones from best to absolute worst. Now whatever is the best Archon shot, this is of course subject to whatever your guys playstyle currently is. However, I'm just going to be giving my input, and I can definitely tell you guys which one is going to be great for which frames. Of course it is based off of whatever frame you are going to be using, whatever build you're currently being using. But these Archon shots are purely designed to go and enhance the whatever current builds we currently do go and have. But before we continue with the video any further, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to support me or the channel any further, remember to leave a like, as this does help me out substantially. Spartan click the subscribe button for more Warframe videos and streams. And also, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to go and play with me outside of YouTube or during any one of my live streams, or even go play outside of YouTube in general, there is a link to a description to a Discord server. Go and join it. Without further ado, let's get this video on the road, shall we? So with the Veilbreaker update, we actually did go and receive a whole bunch of stuff, and basically what you want to do is you want to go and play the Veilbreaker quest line. There will be a link down to the description to my personal playthrough, and of course it will be suggested to you guys at the top right. Now when it comes to the Archon shots, here is my input. So we are going to be starting off with the Amber Archon shot, and let me be honest with you guys, I do feel like this is probably the weakest type of Archon shot, not because of how useless it is, but just because of how powerful the other two currently are. But however, we'll get to that just now. So as you guys can tell, we are going to be getting ourselves plus 30% energy filled on spawn, with also effectiveness on health orbs, 50% effectiveness on energy orbs, and of course the same can be said when it comes to casting speed and parkour velocity. Now I'm not going to say that this shot is terrible, but it's not as good as the other two, because let me tell you, those other two are really promising. So if you guys want to go and see what they basically do, so I can definitely tell you all of these attributes of the Amber shot are very effective, except for parkour velocity. I don't really see why you'd go and use that when it comes to a mission itself. But hey, if you guys are a big time memer, then parkour velocity is definitely your friend. Attributes like casting speed, effective health or effective energy orbs, and of course effective health orbs can definitely be a game changer, especially when it comes to either a necros build or a negative efficiency build such as Chroma. And the same can be said when it comes to the maximum health or the maximum energy filled on spawn. So think of that first attribute as preparation, but on steroids. And if you guys do want to get a general picture, basically think of it like this, right? Take all of these stats and just multiply them by 4, and that's basically the best you can be having then. Especially do you have effectiveness on energy orbs multiplied by 4. That basically means that when you guys go and pick up an energy orb, you are going to be getting a ton of energy back. Combine that with Arcane Energize, you will never ever run out of energy whatsoever. In fact, Zeneg won't even really be needed that much. Next up is we are going to be talking about the Azure Archon shot, and let me tell you guys, this is actually a really solid one. And if you guys did go and fight Boreal this week, I don't know, when I was actually watching the video back, it seems like I was saying Boreal, Boreal, they do sound very similar. So when it comes to the Azure and Archon shot, let me tell you guys, if you guys are into tanky frames, then the Azure Archon shot is your best friend. So as you guys can tell, we have a choice between either more health, more shield capacity, energy max, more armor, or even having health regeneration passively. Now remember, if you guys do want to go and prioritize one particular stat, you can definitely go and do so. Let me tell you guys, I can tell you that health regeneration per second is going to be really powerful, especially for Nidus. Remember, you guys can basically go and take 4 of these Azure Archon shots and go and put them onto each of the slots. Remember, we probably have to wait for around a month in order to go and get all of these slots, so it is going to be a bit of a grindy time, but we just have to go and wait. And I think the Archon fights are pretty great, especially as an idea, and at least we do have some form of an end game. I'm not too sure how these shots do work. I haven't really gone and put any of them in there, mainly because I want to go and make sure that I have 4 of each of these different Archon shots. Therefore I can then go and prioritize a particular build. I definitely want to go and use one of these on my Wukong build to go and make the ultimate Monkey King, or the ultimate Son Goku of Warframe. But think of it like this, right? I think health regeneration per second is going to be very powerful on Warframes like Inaros or even Nidus, especially Nidus, because remember, he is the best tank in the entire game, mainly because he can go and have scaling armor. But at the end of the day, if you guys are a tanky boy and you want to go and add either more armor or even more health regeneration or any of these attributes, then you can't go wrong with the Azure Archon, and I think this is probably the second best shot when it comes to whatever we currently have. Next up, and not finally, is we are going to be talking about the Crimson Archon shard. This is the best shard out of the bunch, and let me tell you guys why. So it is mainly focused on being aggressive, and as you guys can tell, we are going to be getting a ton of damage output to our melee, our primary and secondary when it comes to critical chance, and of course we are going to be receiving an increase to our power string and of course duration. So if you guys did go and watch my last video or one of my other videos when it comes to me one-shotting the Archon or two-tapping the Archon, basically the Crimson Archon shot is definitely going to be a really powerful when it comes to more power string, because remember that particular build does scale off of the more power string we do have. And of course remember, if you multiply 25 by 4, we are going to be receiving a whole 100% power string without really any sacrifice whatsoever. And of course the critical damage on our melee weapon is going to be amazing. I can't wait to go and try it when it comes to on our exalted based abilities. Once again, I do kind of want to use it on my Wukong, because remember, if you guys are going to be critting, critical damage does actually go and tell you guys exactly, or does influence how big of numbers you see when you guys do go and crit. Stage chance, I don't know what that is. I still have to wait and see how powerful it is going to be. However, I can definitely see stage being one of those potential things, but at the end of the day, I don't really see it that powerful. And of course duration, remember we do have some of those mods or augments out there that actually do decrease our duration.